so much fun. So I started knitting Lusk and Tyre.
Okay.
And traditional Fair Isle is only ever 2 colors in a row.
Yeah.
And in the chart there was one row that had 3 colors in it. And I emailed her. Well, I emailed Virtual Yarns, which is her website.
The contact.
And I asked if that was an error or intentional. And Alice herself emailed me back.
That's so cool.
And she said, in 10 years, you're the only person who's ever noticed that.
Really?
So.
That's very cool.
And what's very interesting is, I mentioned it on my blog while I was knitting it, and the woman who knitted the sample for the book, Hope Castle. Hi, Hope. Hope's a friend of mine. Emailed me and said, no, there's no error in the pattern. I tested it, but she's an expert knitter, and she just did. She just didn't see the error.
Because she knew what it should have been, so she just assumed. Right.
Well, when you look at a chart and it's charted like that, you're like, oh, that's what they meant.
Yeah. And that's why it's all. I mean, my own patterns, I can't test knit my own patterns because I know what they're.
Yeah, you know what it's supposed to mean. So
it's hard when you know what it's supposed to be. It's hard to think, or an advanced knitter, you just assume certain things.
Right. I fill in the blanks in my head, and we all do, I think.
So, do you have a favorite type of yarn for socks or a favorite type of yarn for shawls?
My favorite types of sock yarns are the merino with a tight twist, like Stacy's Tempted yarn.
That's great stuff.
Sanguine Griffin's Eidos.
Now, I haven't tried Eidos.
I have a skein of that. It's so pretty. I think I actually like that better than the Buggas. Really? It's going to come as
I know, right?
Check it out.
I do too.
I do.
I would much rather have Eidos.
And the Eidos doesn't sell out as quickly, people. So
well, it will now.
Don't tell
now
me
that Wendy likes it.
It's mine.
I'll give you a heads up on Flirt when I see it go up.
Yeah, I mean, and also Shabooey Knits has a similar base, so I use that a lot.
Yeah.
Cherry Tree Hill is, and the reason I like this, I like yarns that don't have a halo or a bloom.
Right.
Yeah.
Because for when you're designing something intricate,
you need to be able to see.
You want a nice, crisp yarn. I mean, while the ones with cashmere feel wonderful on the feet, they're better for,
I like them for shawls.
Well,
shawlettes.
Yeah. They are great for shawls and shawlettes. But
when you do lace, you don't need as tight of a twist. In fact, it's preferred not to have as much of a twist.
Now, this is Wool Mice, the sock yarn.
Is that hers blue? What's the?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Right.
And
you actually know the colorway.
I know.
It's the pretty one.
That's hard.
I know, right?
That's hard.
I don't know some of the new ones, but I know most of the other ones.
And this was really fun to knit. But
yeah, I thought it was very fun to knit too. The people who have been watching us from the first video cast, I did that out of the hand spun that I just finished. So I'll be wearing that tomorrow.
Oh, cool! I can't wait to see it.
It'll be fun.
I'm gonna wear my shipwreck tomorrow out of the Woolmaza Arlene lace.
You got to show that off.
Yeah, I'm going to. I saved it for the last full day. I gotta pace myself.
I do love the Wool Mice lace weight too.
Because you can. I mean, you cannot run out of yarn. It's impossible.
Ever and ever and ever.
I have a skein of that in single malt, which is so beautiful, and I want to use it so badly, but I haven't come up with.
You have to find the perfect project.
Exactly.
And you've got to set aside a couple hours to wind it.
It's already wound.
Oh, really?
I have an electric ball winder.
Oh.
I cheat.
Really? What do you think of those?
I actually have 2 of. Well, okay, I have 3 of them.
Oh my goodness! Do you ever need to wind that much yarn at once?
No. What happened was I bought the one that is no longer available. Is it Shack makes it?
Yes.
And it died.
Oh.
And I bought another one, and then after I bought the second one, I realized that I took the first one apart, and it was the little belt.
So all you had to do is replace the little band.
Belt.
Yeah. The
little band. It's like replacing the drive band on a spinning wheel. And I was so proud of myself with my little screwdriver.
Oh, yeah. I'd be so proud if I figured that out.
I actually took it apart, fixed it, and put it back together again.
So then you have 2.
So that's 2. Now, is it Boy came out with one? B-O-Y-E.
Yeah, they might have.
And just because I like toys, I had to have it. So.
Well, when you wind all the skeins for the test knitters, I'm sure it comes in handy.
I don't always.
She doesn't.
Oh, well, mine come on sometimes.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Now,
my ones for this did not come wind because I remember winding them. But
now, LB is test knitting something for me now that's using a skein of Dream in Color Baby, which is 700 yards.
Yeah,
and
that's their lace weight.
She asked me to wind it for her because her either her Swift or her ball winder is broken.
Yeah.
So
do you find that some lace weight yarns don't do well with being wound on the electric skein winders?
I have to be careful, and I have to watch it
constantly
at all times. I mean, as soon as you turn your back on it, it stops.
Yeah, it eats it. Yeah,
you gotta watch it.
Wow.
And it's very entertaining for Lucy. Her little head's going like this.
I can just picture that. She's probably getting even more cross-eyed as she's watching.
Well, I've got a floor Swift. The one that's the oak, the oak, and it's an umbrella Swift, but it's got like
it
3
actually
legs.
sits on the like an umbrella stand on.
It's beautiful. It's really pretty, and it was really funny. I got a new cleaning lady, and when she first came to my condo, and she said we were talking about how often she would come, but she finally said, "I'm sorry, I have to ask, what is that?"
Medieval torture device.
Tool.
And I told her, I said, you'll come in here and there'll be disembodied legs standing on the dining room table with socks on them. Just ignore that.
Do you have a glass head? I have a glass head.
I've got a styrofoam head, but no, not a glass head. But I've got hands. I'm
actually looking for the little feet the little like plastic foot that you can put the sock on to take the picture.
Right. Well, I have a number of those.
That's not weird at all.
I wonder if you put them all in your suitcase and you're flying somewhere.
What would TSA do?
What they would do?
That's a good question. But
it's probably not the weirdest thing they'll have ever come across.
I'm sure that's true. But so my cleaning lady knows. She doesn't go in the stash room except to get the vacuum cleaner. I said don't even try because there is yarn everywhere.
Yeah, I had to do a massive overhaul of my knitting room for Laura and I to start recording in there. It took me 2 days to clean that, and I found yarn I had not seen in 3 or 4 years, and it was like Christmas Day because I forget about all the stuff.
I had a few years ago, Ian and I were gonna go on a picnic, and I have a big Coleman cooler, and so I said, it's in the stash room, and there was boxes piled on top of it, and I said, would you come in, and help me move the boxes? So we get to the cooler part, and I take the lid off it, and it's filled with yarn that I had totally forgotten about, and I said, wow, look at that. I totally forgot there was yarn in there, and bless his heart, he did not say a word. He just smiled.
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
So, I'm going to close it out with one last question, because I think we're already at like 35 minutes. We were thinking it'd be 10, and Wendy'd be like, I'm out of here. But
hey, once you get me started,
hey, I'm game. I know our viewers will appreciate it. What is your weirdest knitting-related story, like knitting in public?
Okay, I have a really cute one that just happened recently. I took my car in for routine maintenance, and they have a little waiting room there, and so I sit down there with my knitting, and I'm knitting away, and all the guys. I've been going to the same shop for years and years, and they all come back and make fun of me and say, "Oh, what are you knitting for me?" And I say, "A lace shawl." And they're all
be so pretty with your jumpsuit.
Exactly.